Well, hello there. This is David Ogunike. I'm also known as Super Dave. I'm here today to share with you a very unique plan that you can actually apply into your life, which will allow you to become totally debt-free within the next 3 to 5 years. And in fact, if you're serious about this, you could even do it a lot sooner. And yes, I'm also including your mortgage. And you can do all this without having to join any home-based business, any MLM or network marketing business. And there's also going to be no course that you'd have to purchase. Everything that you're going to watch in this video is all you'll need to be able to accomplish your financial freedom. Now, as you can see, there's a little video there of me. I've got this big earpiece here, but I just want to make sure that I did a good recording and you can actually hear me while I'm doing this. Now, I'm going to be writing stuff on the screen, so it's best if you have a pen and paper with you so you can take some notes. And then when we're done, as a recap, in case I go too fast, I'll show you where you can actually grab everything I'm going to share with you here. But it's important you actually do the exercises while I'm going step by step with you. I'm going to do it with you at the same time. And the reason for that is because I don't know your own actual situation, so you have to plug in your own numbers, and you might have to pause and bring out a calculator, or just use the calculator on your computer. Just do some quick, simple math for stuff like that. So let's begin. Okay, so this here's the link that you can actually send to anybody. If you like what you see and it's working for you, feel free to send this out to anyone else. All right, so let's get rid of all this stuff here and begin. All right, so step number one, what is it that you need to do to actually make this happen for you? Okay, step number one is you want to stop bad debts. Okay, like you don't want to keep on purchasing things every single moment for no real reason. And what I'm going to explain here to you, this 10-150-18-24, this says that if you have, say, $10,000 in credit card debt, for example, okay, normally your minimum payment is about $150 a month. Okay, again, depending on what the interest rate. In this case, you're paying 18% interest rate on this, so $150 a month. Do you know that it's going to take you 24 years for you to actually pay this off just by paying the minimum payment for that? And this is at 18%. Some of you have bank cards and other type of credit cards that maybe even charge you more. Okay, so you really need to stop bad debts. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you 25 ways on how you can actually stop bad debts. What else can you do to actually help change that? Okay, so this is the most important part, because if you don't get your mindset set up that, yes, you know what, I'm going to stop doing this, and what you've been doing hasn't worked, and nothing else I'm going to show you is actually going to make any sense to you. You would even care really about it. You see? Now, I hope I don't come across too blunt during this presentation, but one of the questions I normally get when I share this with people is, well, Dave, what if you're telling me 3 to 5 years, but what if I want it sooner? That sounds like it's way too long. And let me just make sure that you're not reading while I'm speaking here. The problem for most people is that if you think about it, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years has already gone by. What has happened in your life? Nothing. You're trying a lot of different things out there, and you need to figure a way on how you're actually going to stop and take charge of your life from this point onwards. So that's why step number one is actually the most important. Everything from step number 2 onwards, it's all the how to. Step number 1 is why. Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? Okay, so you need to write down on a piece of paper, saying to yourself why it is that you deserve to become financially free. Okay, and again, remember, this has nothing to do with you having to join anything else right now. This is just why do you need to be financially free? That means having no debts. Okay, I'm not talking about making $10,000 a month or some crazy amount of money. I'm talking about what you're doing right now, your job, whatever it is, and not owing anybody anything. No credit card debt, no mortgage, no nothing, no payments on anything else. Okay, remember, time's going to go by anyways. So let's come back here. All right, so 25 things you can do to actually help you stop bad debt. Number one, don't buy on impulse. Wait 30 days. Normally you'll see that, and I've done this. Okay, just so you know. But normally you really want something, and if you wait 30 days later, it wasn't that big a deal, but it seemed urgent at that moment. Always shop with the list and stick to it. Now, does your bank charge you high fees? If they do, you can change your account or move. You can do a lot of these online bankings, and again, they don't charge anything for checks or debit when you use your debit card or charge card if you're in the U.S. Next thing also is your insurance. A lot of times people might not be aware of this, but if you actually increase your deductible, so let's say your deductible is $500. That means if something happens to your car, your home, and they're going to cover, you need to pay $500. And if you do that, you're going to pay X amount per month. And I'm just going to throw a number here. It might be, say, $50 a month. But if you increase your deductible, let's say you're willing to pay $1,000 in case something was to happen, they would actually reduce your premium to maybe $25 a month. Okay, so you'd actually pay less per month because you're willing to pay more upfront in case something happens. And remember, a lot of insurance is all based on in case something happens. I mean, we don't want anything to actually happen. Look for lower premiums, especially the internet now. You can search. There's sites that will go and research all the different insurances for you and find you the best one. Again, if you must carry a credit card balance, shop around for a card with a lower rate. Now, a lot of the stuff I'm sharing with you here, this 25 stuff to help you with bad debt, is going to apply in another step in this 11 steps that I have for you. And so I'm going to let you know again about that. So some of these things here, you're going to go, well, what does this have to do with me, stopping bad debt? A lot of it has to do with stopping bad debt is, like, for example, shopping with a list. I didn't used to shop with any list. And I'll just go to the grocery store when I'm hungry, which is the worst time to do that. And I'll just buy anything. Now, when I use a list, I just stick to it. I already know what I want, and whether I'm hungry or not, I go and get it, and that's it. I cut my bill almost in half. That plus purchasing at a different grocery store. I normally go 24 hours because I'm up all, like, whenever. I'd go to the grocery store at 2, 3 in the morning. I like it. There's no lines whatsoever. But later on, I found I'm paying almost double the price for some of the products. And, I don't know why, but you know what? I got to practice what I preach. So now that's what I do. The only problem is I have to go shop now at 1 or 2 in the afternoon because I still don't like the lineups. Okay. Number 7, if you need to use something just a few times, rent it so you don't have to go out there to actually purchase it. I don't know if I said this already here. Number 6, if you must carry a credit card balance, look around for a card that has a lower rate. Number 8, have a garage sale. Again, like I said, some of this might not make sense now, but it will later on. And in fact, I'll tell you, it's going to be for step number 5, where you'll need to know some of these things. So I'll come back and visit this again afterwards. Number 9, switch to a long distance carrier and use a flat rate. So again, if you're in North America, US, Canada, you can get flat rates now for $25 a month, $20 a month. And even if you use something like the I just went blank on, I don't remember what it's called. There we go, Magic Jack, something like that. That's $20 a year for unlimited U.S. Canada calling. Okay, for $20 a year. Going to movies prices just seem to just keep getting more and more and more. And now they're charging for 3D movies as well. So you can rent a video. Or you can even go online. eat in. You know, instead of dining out, just get some groceries and then learn how to cook. I did that. In fact, I went and got a DS. I want to call it DS game, but really it's a Nintendo DS cooking um, game, and it's actually not a game, but it's more like an automated cook or chef that's right there. It tells you what to purchase. So I check it all off. I go to grocery store. So I carry my DS when I go grocery shopping. I buy the stuff I require. So for example, if I'm making a Thai dish, it says I need 12 green beans. So I just go out and count 12 green beans, and that's all I purchase. I don't buy a whole bag of green beans. Come back, and it tells you from how to chop the stuff to like step by step when to put it, when to put your oil in and sizzle your green beans, and just everything right to the end to when the dish is actually made. And it also tells you how long it's going to take to do this. So it was really helpful. Again, that's for me. So now I enjoy staying home and actually making food. I never used to do that before, ever. Pack a lunch. For those of you who have a job or go to work, guess what? Instead of spending money buying lunch every single day, pack a lunch. Again, don't buy that book. All that means, I'm not saying you shouldn't buy books. I believe that leaders or readers, you should be reading, but you should be reading good books. But what you can do a lot of times, you're buying a book just to read it, especially if it's just a pleasure book. You can go to a library, or even use the internet now. You can actually get a lot of books on there, print it out, and boom, that's your book right there. So, go to a library, get the book out, read it, return it in a couple of weeks or a month, and then go get the next one. So, again, a lot of this here also has to do with saving money. So, like I said, again, this will apply back to step number 5. This here's a big one here. Cancel subscriptions that you never read. So a lot of us, I used to have magazine subscriptions because people offered special deals in that, and I'd have all these magazines coming in, and I knew when I wasn't reading, because I would even open it up and I would give it away to a friend. Hey, do you want to check this out or whatever it is? And that's when you need to stop it, because what's the point? You're just paying for something for no reason. Who cares if you get 80% off? 80% off, save the rest of the money you're spending. Again, number 15, turn your car into a chat room, carpool to work. So, depending, if you live in a big city or not, this could be of use to you. And this way you get to know other people, talk about different things, okay, like carpooling to work. I know here in Toronto, it's unbelievable. Sometimes I've actually driven during rush hour in the evening. I don't like getting up in the morning, but in the evening, and you see just one person per car, and there's thousands and thousands of cars out there. So, number 16, watch out for convenience food. This year, I know it's a big deal for a lot of individuals out there, but guess what? It's expensive and it's really not healthy. Number 17, this is going to be hard, I know, but you really want to cut back on your trips to Starbucks or Tim Hortons, or I should say, or Tim Hortons. Okay, this is big. Starbucks alone. I know people who go to Starbucks. I'm not a coffee drinker, so this doesn't really matter to me. But you can spend some good money here on Starbucks alone. In fact, I think it was said once that what you spend if you go to Starbucks every day, you could actually purchase a Hyundai. Okay, that would make your monthly payments of a Hyundai just by what you'd save if you didn't go to Starbucks every day. So that's big. Avoid pricey specialty stores. Again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go but you want to start to avoid these specialty stores. So my example I would use would be the grocery store that was 24 hours a day. That specific one, even though it's 24 hours a day, it's a convenience for me, and certain people went to that. But guess what? I'm paying almost double the price. That means that whatever I spent for a week of groceries could have actually lasted me for 2 weeks of groceries, just for an example there. This could also mean other things like brand name, items. You can get them elsewhere. Number 19, scan in the receipts. Sometimes people do make mistakes. All right, so you want to check that out. And number 20, learn to cut your kid's hair. Believe it or not, I cut my hair. Okay, and not because I'm trying to save $20, whatever it is, but just when you look at it from a time wise and whatever it is, my hair is pretty simple. I mean, I just shave it off and it grows again. And for kids, again, kids really, they don't really care that much. So you can easily do it yourself. Why pay $15, $20 for that? Again, this would make a lot more sense when I get to step number 5. So number 21, cancel premium channels. Especially now cable TV is, I mean, they just seem to be adding a whole bunch of things, and you never have enough time to really watch all those channels. And if you're spending all that time watching TV, then this course might not even be for you. Okay, just because you've got to do something in your life more than just watching TV if you want to move ahead in life. Personally, I don't even have cable TV, so I only have, I think, 1 or 2 channels, and that's whatever the TV can get from the air. Take shorter showers. This is, again, like I said, will make more sense for step number 5. And running a full dishwasher, same thing. And then time to refinance your home. Like right now, the rates are really low. This would be a good time for you to do that. But again, please be careful, because sometimes the banks right now are charging extra fees for you to redo this because they feel they're losing money based on the interest, the difference. It's called interest differential. So number 25. Don't spend your next pay raise. Some of you are still getting extra money, pay raises, and guess what? That you used to make $25 an hour before. Now you're making $30 an hour, and you find that you still have no money. Why? Makes no sense. So, like I said, we'll come back and revisit this. I won't spend too much time here, but these are the 25 things that you can do that will actually help you stop bad debt. Bad debt. Yes, almost like death, I know. Okay, so that was step number 1. So let me do this here. Okay, so that was step number 1, stopping bad debt. And I'm going to copy this back here again. And then now number 2. And like I said, I'm going to be walking you through this and doing it as well. I'll just do it on my Word document as well. And just because, this doesn't have to be done professionally, it just has to be done. That's the important thing. So, step number 2, and like I said, the first one was your why. From number 2 to 11, it's all going to be now the how. So, let us begin here. So, number 2, you want to list all your debts. Your home, credit card, car payments, and any other bad debts down one page. So let us do that. Just I'm going to do that here in this page here, and here we go. So that way I can go back and forth and you can see all the steps. So let's say I'm gonna first thing I'm gonna do is gonna be a home, and actually there we go. Okay, so home, then we have a card, then I have Visa, then I have MasterCard, then I have let's see, Sears, then I have Canadian Tire. What else people have? People have Future Shop card. Again, if you're in the U.S. watching this, so Future Shop is like a Best Buy or Circuit City. Canadian Tire, this is a department store card. Sears, we all know Sears. I know a lot of us have more than one Visa, more than one MasterCard card as well. But basically, these are your list of your debts and stuff. So I'll just put here. Okay, so you list that. So that's step number 2, listing all of them down one page. Okay, so I've just done a few, and I'm just going to put here other. I don't know why I keep thinking of this, but maybe a furniture. Okay, so like the brick. Okay, so this is just a furniture store. So again, people buy furniture, dining room sets, stuff like that, and they're making monthly payments on it. Okay, so that's another example. So that's other. So you can just list whatever else you are making monthly payments on here. All right, so that's step number 2. Now step number 3. I retyped all this already before, so it'll be easy for me to copy and paste, and I'll make too many mistakes typing. So step number 3 is next to each item, have 3 columns with the headings: amount owed, minimum payments, and number of months. So I'm always about making my life easier. So next to them, so here's my first title. So what I'm going to do is you want to have amount owed. Okay, let's see if that'll be centered a bit there. And we do minimum payments and number of months. Okay, so these would be your 3 headings. Oops, did I do that? Yeah. So you want to have 3 headings: amount owed, minimum monthly payments, and number of months. So I'm just going to throw some numbers on here. I don't know what your numbers are going to be. So again, I'm just, like I said, just going to throw some numbers here. So let's say the home was this amount owed. Okay, so let's say it was let's say 280,000. Okay, now depending where you live, this might be like a lot of money, and for if you're in Vancouver or in California, stuff like that, that might be like peanuts. But in some other places, that might be a lot. So just put down the amount that you actually owe. I'm just throwing some amounts here. For the car, if let's say you bought a car, I don't know. Let's say you owe 21,000. Again, these are I'm just pulling numbers off the top of my head. Visa. Let us see. Some people have some good high amounts here. Let's say it's 6,600. Okay. And MasterCard. Let's make this one easy. Let's make it 1,800. Okay. Now remember, you have more than one credit card. You're gonna list down all the credit cards. So don't bundle all these up together and say MasterCard. You might have a like 3 different banks MasterCards. So you're gonna list them each down here. So let me just do this. I'll do this here just to make sure people. So this is Bank of Montreal MasterCard, for example, and let's do another one. Capital One MasterCard again. Okay. Oops. And that one there, we're going to say that there is, let's say there's $800 on that one as well. Okay, so you want to have all your different credit cards, all different visas all listed as well. Also, if you have 2 cars, you're going to list that all separately. So this is not a grand total. This is just for each item. Okay. Again, your Sears card. That one might be whatever, it might be $289. Okay, and if you can, again, to get all these, simply go to your totals. And Canadian Tire, let's say you just bought a nice drill set, again for $89. That's all you have on there. Future Shop, you went and you bought some huge you bought an entertainment system, laptop, all this other stuff. So again, you got nice stuff at home, but guess what? You're still paying for it. And here, the brick, you bought a bunch of furniture and things. So there we are. Okay, now these are seem like high amounts, and for some of you, yeah, it could be high. But again, I'm just throwing out numbers. So this is amount owed. Okay, now again, just coming to show you the steps here. So it says 3 columns: amount owed, minimum monthly payments. Now again, since I just made these up, I don't know what the actual minimum payments are. So I'm just going to just throw some numbers here again. So let's say for this one here, your monthly payment was, let's say, $1,600. Okay. Again, this doesn't include property tax or anything else, because those are ongoing. Those are the things you'll never get rid of. Okay, except when you die. So I'm just talking about the actual amount that you owe on the house, and then what your payment is for that. Okay, what the bank or whoever has lent you the money, what they've said the minimum payments are that are required to pay that off. Okay, and for the car could be, I don't even know what it is on 21, but let's just say $400, for example. For your Visa there, that could be, I don't know, $89 a month. Remember, they have you just in small minimum payments. This one could be $20. This one, I think the minimum is $20. Normally that they give. So let me bump this one up a little bit more. Let's just say it's $35. Okay, and Sears, I don't know what that one could be, but let's say it's $67. My gosh, I got such small numbers here. Let's say that was $10. Okay, and a Future Shop, again, this would be whatever, $98. And that guy there will be, let's say, 110. Okay, so these are your monthly payments. Now the number of months, that is how long is it going to take you making these minimum payments. How long is it going to, let me make sure you can see this. Okay, how long is it going to take for you to pay this off, making these minimum payments? So what you do, and that's what this here says divide amount owed, so that means whatever is here, by the minimum payments, and that's going to give you the number of months. So I'm going to show you how I do that here with a calculator. We all have calculators in Windows. Simply click on Start, Run, and Calculator. So I'm just going to bring this here, and I'm going to move it around. Okay, so I don't know where my head's going to be. I think my head's showing up in this corner. So let's do the home first. Okay, so we got 280,000 divided by 1600 gives you 175 months. So all you do is you come here and you put down 175. Okay, that's number of months it's going to take for you to pay that off. So again, just real quick, just so I see, 175 months divided by 12 months gives me, so 14 years right now is when you'd pay this off. Okay, going at the current rate right now. Okay, so let's keep on going down here. So 21 divided by 400 is 52. And let's do one more here. 600 divided by 89, and it gives you 74, I believe I said. Yeah. So again, I just rounded off. 74. Okay, now I'm just going to finish all this because you don't need to see me divide all this, but you get the idea. So you want to pause. If you're following me right now and doing this yourself with your own debts, just pause video right now and quickly add up, quickly divide all this stuff to get your total number of months, and then continue playing. So let me just do the same thing. Okay, so magic of computers. So I've done the math here, and you'll notice what I did down here. I actually put the point, whatever it is, because it was very close. And in some cases, let's say you had 8 months and 8.9, stuff like that. Again, this is not close here, but something maybe around here and here. You want to really differentiate, which one has more months than the other. Okay, so that's this is step number 2. Okay, which was to list each item, and then have the amount owed, minimum payments and number of months. Okay, so that's number 3. Sorry, step number 3. So number 4. Here we go. Number 4. Now, based only on the number of months, I want you to rank your debt from the lowest to the highest month. So just beside where you list your debts, just put 1 for lowest month and 2 next one, and on, and then I'm going to explain why. So let's do that here first of all. So the lowest one, look at all this, it's actually this guy here. So I'll do 1 here. Let's see, just to make it easy, because I had all my tabs here going on. So 1 for Sears, and the next one would be, what's the lowest one here? It is here, 8.9. That's the next lowest one. Okay, and my formatting here. The next one after that is which one? I believe the 40 here. Let's see. Yeah, how's that gonna work there? Okay, and then next one would be 45. Yeah, 45. That'd be number 4. And then next one will be 51. And then 52. And then number 7 with the brick here. And then Visa will be number 8. Okay, so again, just so you understand what I'm doing, I'm looking just at this column alone, and I'm trying to find the lowest month, which was this one, and then I'm ranking it. So, this is the first lowest month, and then the next lowest month after that was this one here. So that's why I was putting number 2 here. The next lowest one after that was that one there, and so that's what I'm labeling here. Okay, so we've got 70, pretty much all done, right? 8, and this is number 9. So of course, for most people, your house is normally the biggest expense. Okay, so there, you've labeled everything. So that's step number 4. So, okay, where it says based only on number of months, rank your debts from lowest to highest month. Put in number 1 on lowest month and number 2 on and on. And the reason for that is because we want you to have your first win. Okay, we want you to have success quickly. Okay, the sooner you have success, then the sooner your brain goes, man, this is amazing, and I know I can do it. Okay, that's why we're doing this. So let's go to step number 5. Now remember I said before when I was reading the list to 25 for you, I said something that relates to number 25. This is where the rubber meets the road. So what you need to do now for step number 5 is you need to come up with an additional $150 to $250 a month. Okay, so you have to do that somehow, and you have to be serious about this, because if you're not, then coming out of debt is going to be next to impossible, because very, very slim. So quick examples I put here was, to come up with this extra $150 to $250, I just listed some stuff here, but really, as you'll notice when I read the list of 25 things, that's how you can do that. If you cut down on your coffee, cut down on your movie, get rid of your cable. Cable, for most people, you're spending $40, $50 a month right there. Your subscriptions maybe costing you another $5, $10 a month right there. Buying your lunches. Think of if you spent $10 every day times 20 days, that's $200 a month right there, simply buying lunches. Not talking about when you go out to eat out, or you go out on the weekend, or anything else like that. So again, you're trying to come up with $150 to $250 every month. The more you come up with, the better it's going to be for you. So let's just quickly revisit this list again at 25. So stuff like your bank fees, okay, again, that's a couple of dollars there a month, and all that adds up. Your monthly deductible, same thing again. Having a garage sale, that could give you extra $100 or $200 a month, depending on what you're getting rid of every month. If you switch your long distance carrier, again, what you're saving every month. You can put that, movies alone. If you just go watch a movie now, normally just couples or husband and wife, if you leave the kids at home, you're looking at about $30. Okay, again, I'm not saying you should stop all this, but you're looking to get $150 to $250. Okay, again, especially if you eat in instead of going out to dine, buying that book, like I said, canceling subscription and cutting back right here. Starbucks alone, I'm sure you can get $150 right from that alone. And if you're not sure, all you got to do to start off is just have a piece of paper with you in the morning and jot down every time you spend money. Just write it down and do it for 7 days, and then add it up. I think you're going to be so surprised. Again, this example here, cutting your kid's hair. If you're doing for 2 kids, that could be $20, $30 right there again. And again, saving your shower and doing dishwasher, what that would do is cut down your water expense, which would give you more money every month. Okay, and also your next pay increase. So what you're looking for, like I said, is to come up with an extra $150 to $250 a month. Just this alone, if you're serious about it, and the serious part is cutting down. Instead of having 3 coffees a day, maybe you only have 1 to start, and maybe later on cut it down to maybe a couple during a week or something like that. If you're serious about this will make the difference between 5 years, 3 years, and even 2 years, maybe even less, depending on what you do to come up with this amount of money. Now, for some people, they might just feel, look, I can't get rid. Dave, I make, let's say I make $3,000 a month, but I live on $3,500 a month. Like, how am I going to come up with an extra $150? Like, I'm already tapped out. I use credit cards to cover up the difference. And in those cases, that's maybe why you may want to look for a part-time job or a business or something else that can make you, when you clear, you can make an extra $150 to $250. Okay, and so whatever that is, my recommendation first is to see what you can cut out from what you're doing right now, because most people are just buying and they have no idea what they're spending on every single day. Okay, so you wanna seriously look into that first, and the second, then maybe look for a business or something else where you can come up with that extra amount of money. Okay, all right. So that is number 5. Now let's go for number 6. Okay, number 6. All right. So number 6, what you're going to do, that's step number 6, is you're going to now pay the minimum payments on every single item we listed down, except for number 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to pay number 1 plus an additional $150, and we're going to keep on doing it till it's paid off. Okay? Then we have to scratch it off from the list. So let's come down here. I don't know. I might need to add another thing here. So number 1 is we're gonna pay minimum payments of all these guys here. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and let's see how I can add this up here. Let's see how I can do this. Okay, but what I'm going to do now is for number 1 here, I'm going to pay this minimum payment of $67, plus I'm also going to add in another $150. Okay, so everything else you'd be paying a minimum payment, and that extra $150 or $200, whatever extra you're making, you will then add that to this. So your actual payment now onto your Sears card would be $217. Okay, that's what you'd now be paying for this. Now watch this, my calculator here. Okay, so remember 67 plus 150, that is 217. Okay, so that's 150, it's 217. So look at what happens now. We take this 289 and divide it by 217, and look at that. You're now down to 1.3 months where this will actually be paid off. Okay, so that's what I wanted to just do here is 1 point, yeah, so 1.3, and you'd be paid off. So in a month and a few days later, that would now be paid off. Okay, so that's for step number 6. So when this is paid off, okay, actually I should have added all these months here. Anyways, I'll do that after. But after this is paid off, so let's say you've paid this off, okay, what you will then do is, let's see if I can do it here. You literally want to scratch it off the list. Okay, so you physically want to take your pen on the paper and go, so have this all done on your computer, print it out, and then you'll scratch it off your list. Okay, and that's very, very, very important when you want to have a win, because your brain then goes, oh my gosh, I did it, because you just scratched something off the list and you've got your first win. And what you want to do once you've done this, you want to go out and celebrate. Okay, like just go crazy, splurge like $10. Okay, maybe go treat yourself with your kids or whatever it is, but you have to celebrate that win. Okay, you did it, it was amazing. Okay, so that's the first one. Now look at what happens for the next step. So step number 7, well, okay, I already explained this. So you're going to congratulate yourself. Okay, so yeah, that is a step. That means you have to do it. Don't just go, okay, yeah, good, it's done, next. You have to do this. If you don't do this, your brain doesn't register that you've just done something amazing. Okay, so step number 7, you have to congratulate yourself. And then step number 8. See, I actually wrote this down step by step by step so you don't forget. Now, step number 8 is what you're going to do now is you're now going to go to the next item. So this would be item number 2 now, and you're going to pay whatever the minimum is of number 2 plus whatever the minimum was of number 1 plus that extra amount of money you came up with, if it's $150 or $200 or like whatever the amount was. But whatever it is, you have to make it consistent and be the same thing. So for example, I'm gonna change this here because like I said, I just threw some numbers together. So number 2 was $10. Okay, so you're gonna pay the $10. So everything else you're still making monthly payments. Remember, you're done with this. Okay, this is paid off now. But so number 2 now, you're gonna pay $10 plus you're going to add on to it the amount that you were paying for the Sears card, which is $67, plus your $150 extra. Okay, now what a lot of people do is when they pay off something, they normally go, oh, okay, that's gone, and they then take that money to do something else. So remember, this was $217 here. What you're really doing is you're now adding $217 to this $10. Okay, again, this $10 is pretty small, but you'll notice that when you add all this up together, this actually comes up now to $227. And if you divide it by 89, okay, right off the bat, you'll know that this will be paid off within 2 weeks. Okay, so I'm just going to put in here because we're just calculating by month. Actually, no, let's do that. Okay, I'm just going to divide this here. So 89 divided by the 227, just so you can see, it only takes 0.39. Let's just say 0.4. Okay, I said 0.5. So it's only going to take you not even up to 2 weeks to pay that off. Okay, so what do we do next after we've done that? That's right. Oh, let me make sure you can. The next step is we are going to strike it off. Okay, boom, done like dinner. So I'm just, because I want to keep the video consistent, so number 2 is $10, number 1 was $67, and we're paying $150. So if I come back here, so let's say number 2 was $10, and then number 1 was oh my gosh, my memory is going already, was $67. I picked such weird numbers. Okay, so $67 plus the $150. Okay, so I'm just repeating here. So what you do is you still pay the minimum on everything else except number 2. So you pay number 2 minimum plus whatever number 1 was plus the extra amount of money that you've come up with, the extra $150, $250 that you've come up with. Okay, so that's step number 8. Guess what step number 5 is? Step number 5. Step number 9 is. I'm doing editing on the fly here. You congratulate yourself again. Why? Because you deserve it. Okay? So you got to make sure you do that. Why? Because it is important. Now remember, don't go crazy. Like $10 is good. You can go have yourself an ice cream cone and buy some for, everyone else. That's, just go out and just enjoy yourself. But don't go crazy because you're setting yourself up to win big time. Okay, so number 10. What do? You will continue with the next payment till that's paid off. So all that means is you'll now go to number 3. Okay, so in this case it will be number 3, and you will then pay your $20 plus whatever you were paying for really number 2, for whatever you were paying here number 2, because number 2 is really whatever was in number 1. So now it would be plus 227. Okay, because that's what you were paying all together here. Okay, so and then when you've paid this off, guess what? You scratch it off. You'll scratch it off, and then do the same thing again for step number 4. So step number 4, now you'll be paying your 98 plus, I'm just adding this up together here, to 47. Oops, 247. Okay, so let me just divide this here. So this was 247. So 800 divided by 247 would have given me 3.2 months. But so look at this. You've reduced a 40 months of payments. 40 months of payments down to 3.2 months. Okay, like I just want you to understand this is how powerful this is. And so when I'm saying that you can become debt free in 3 to 5 years, you can see that so far we haven't even gotten up to 4 months yet, and you've already cleared off 3 items. Okay, so again, so number 4 here, we're doing the same thing. So let me just add that up again together here. So it's 247 plus 98. It gives us 345. So remember 345. So we got 4,500 there divided by 345, and now we're up to 13 months here. So this would be 13 here. So 13 months. Okay, 13 point something. No, 13 months. Okay, so again, so now by the time we got to the 4th one here, now we've reduced it from 45 months, which is really divided by 12. That's almost 4 years. So 3.8 years. We've now reduced it to 1 year and a month. Okay, so what you would do is you'll continue to add on. So the next one will be number 5. You'll do this number 5 with this whole amount here, okay, add on to there and pay it off. It's important that you follow the strategy. Don't go, oh well, look, this is only $35. Why don't I pay that off first? Before that, you want to follow the strategy of following the least number of months. If you do this, it's going to be very powerful. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pause the video again and just add up the total number of months that it normally would have taken you, translate that into years, and then I'm going to do the math all in here and add up what would have happened if you actually followed the actual steps. Okay, and then see what it actually would have come up to. Okay, and then after that, after I've done that, and when I come back, then I will then talk about step number 11. Okay, so I'll be back. All right, so welcome back. This could have taken you some time, just doing the math and everything. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take this particular layout. I'm going to add this to the PDF that I've put together for you, which lists all the 25 things to help you, plus the 11 steps for you to apply to help you reduce your debt. So you'll be able to follow the steps, what I'm sharing with you. Now remember, what I'm talking about right now is just add an extra $150 to your current debt, and I just use this as an example. So you can see here, I've done all this minus the mortgage, because your mortgage, after doing all this, you've now added an extra almost $1,000 additionally onto this mortgage now to start paying that down. But look at what you shaved off in time for the other 8 items added together. Originally, you're looking at 347.6 months or 28.9 years. That means, and this is so scary, that means that if you're 20 years old, okay, let me see, would a 20-year-old have this kind of stuff? 21, 22-year-old, yeah, you could have this stuff. You just, move into your own house, having your car, whatever it is. So let's say you're 22 years old. This is even scarier. But if you're 22, that means that you will be 50.9 years old, so almost 51 years old, for you to pay everything off. How will you ever succeed in life? I mean, think about that. Okay, that is just doing the minimum payments with all this amount here. Okay, now just by adding $150 and adding the system to your payment plan, you've reduced that from 28.9 years to 5.4 years. So that means if you're 22, that means by the time you're 27, you're debt free here. The only thing you're still paying for is your home. But now you're going to be having a lot of extra money to put towards your home. And I guarantee you that by the time you've done maybe 4 of these, you'll be so motivated that you would have actually bumped up this $150 to maybe $250 or $500 extra. And if you did that, my gosh, this would be paid off even faster than the 5.4 years. But think about this, so like I said at the beginning, I said 3 to 5 years, and people go, wow, that's so long. Well, what are you talking about? What do you do right now? If you're just paying your minimum payments, and some of you have way more than this, you're looking at your lifetime, more than 28 years. So would you rather spend the next 3 to 5 years and get serious about it, or next 28 years? Okay, and this is the reason why so many people are still in debt. Okay, and it's just unfortunate. That's just what's happened. People have never been taught proper money management. So again, you can see just by looking at the number of months here, for most of them, apart from the car here, most everything else was done in a year or less. Okay, this was 13 months here, and this is just a little bit over 2 years. Okay, so it's just that the time frame, because you have to pay off one before you can start paying the next. So when you add all that up together, you're looking at about 5.4 years from when you start to when you're done. That's if it's these amount. Now, if your debts are less than this, guess what? Then this will be paid off in a lot sooner time. Okay, so your options is to increase the amount of money that you find. So really, go out and do this. Start applying these 25 things to help you stop your bad debt. And instead of just saving $150, try to come up with $250 or $500 or more. And the more you can come up with and still put into this, the better it's going to be for you. Okay. Now, in some cases, if you're looking for a home-based business or something like that, ask around. There's a lot of people who are involved in good businesses, and again, you don't need to make $10,000 a month. From what I'm sharing with you, you just need to make an extra $250 to $500 a month, and if you can apply it into your debts, then you can see how quickly you can become debt free. So just remember that when people are sharing with you, oh, you can make $100,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 a month, those are all good and dandy, but the reality is you don't need that much if you have a plan in place. So don't go for the hype, just know what it is that you want to do. Okay. Now, step number 11, because I told you there are 11 steps. Step number 11 now is once everything's all paid off, that's including your home and everything, you will now have a huge amount of cash coming in. Okay, you will actually be conditioned to not spend that extra amount of money that you've just gotten now from paying off another debt. So you'll now have that amount. What you want to do is, with that extra money coming in now, you want to start to stock it away. Just save it initially, and as you're saving it, start learning where you can start to invest your money. Okay, and this is how the wealthy people stay wealthy. They're not going out there buying doodads. That they don't go buy the next flashiest car or some fancy thing, whatever it is. If they're going to do it, they're going to do it paying cash, but not by making monthly payments. Okay, I'm a primary example. I went and blew a lot of money doing a lot of stupid things, but once I became aware of this and I started applying it, I'm like, you know what? I only need to take care of me and my family. And that's it. So I'm going to do what I've got to do for myself. And I started investing in real estate and other investments and stuff like that. And even though today the economy is not as good as it was before, whatever goes down must eventually go back up. So if you have questions about this, you can always email me. My first recommendation is that you do start this. Just even if it's just start listing down your debts and seeing the amounts, just so you become aware as to where you're at. And if you need help, feel free to call me. My number will be on the PDF that you can always call me or even email me. And if you're looking for ways of how you can come up with the extra $150, $250, or $500 a month, additionally every single month. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there who have things. If you are looking for something, you can also give me a call. I'll let you know what it is I have. I have different things for different people. And but first, see if you can get it from your home first. See if you can save, like I said, on the coffee, the lunches, shopping, better places. See what you can come up with, because I think if you can do that first from home, and you can get yourself organized from the home aspect, then if we're talking about you getting involved in a business and trying to do more things, you will already be conditioned for yourself financially. Like, you'll know what it is you're trying to accomplish versus the hype. Okay, because I don't want you jumping on hype. That's what everyone does. But I want you to know why it is you get involved in the business, how much you need to make, and what is that going to actually do for you and your family. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did enjoy it, please feel free to pass it out to anybody, and this will be free for as long as it's online. People can enjoy it for as long as they want. So down below will be the PDF of all this, so you can always download it and review it and press play again on the video and review everything again from time to time. Thanks, and I really do thank you for taking advantage of your own financial future. This is David Ogunaike, also known as Super Dave. Goodbye.